The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Podcast coming to you December 4th, 2024. It is the Week 14 edition of EJ versus Degenerate. And of course, joined by America's favorite degenerate, Zack. By the way, Zack, you won again, 2 in a row.
Listen, here is how bad of a degenerate I am.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I believe I belong in a pick'em league.
Okay.
It's like confidence league. You have to rank every game by like 1 through 16 because there were 16 games this past week.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you put in a parlay, just money line of 16 teams, you're talking 5 figures on a $5 bet.
Did you put a bet on that for 16 teams?
No, because I am a degenerate loser.
Oh God, what'd you do instead?
I kicked myself as I won my league finally. You think it's embarrassing that I've lost like 9 or 10 weeks straight to you?
Yeah.
Man, I'm losing in a league that's, I think half the league is women.
Oh,
and
stop!
I'm losing by like 100 points from first place. I am getting crushed.
Hey man, these women these days are getting into football now, man. Even my wife's getting into it now. Even she gambles once in a while now.
I also can't make it past the third quarter. So.
Wait, what do you mean?
Man, third quarter of the 1 o'clock game is nap time for me.
Dude, so it's funny. Like I've been saying this a lot in the last couple of years on the show. So 1 o'clock, I'm very engaged. I'm always engaged 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
But there was sometimes where at 3 o'clock I get a little, 2 o'clock really, sometimes get a little tired. But really 4 o'clock is when I'm not as engaged in the game.
Oh man. And then by that 8 o'clock game, that better be a really good 8 o'clock
right.
game.
You have to. The games are be good. I'm at a point now in my life now where, as much as I love football, I don't have to watch every game. And depending on the game, like the Thursday night game, like tomorrow night, I'll be locked in tomorrow night because it's Bears, not Bears, it's Lions and Packers, a huge game. But if this was a say the freaking the Titans and Jaguars tomorrow night, you know damn well you're watching this damn game. Come on now.
I'll also say this.
Yeah.
This is my first year without Red Zone. I will never live another year without Red Zone. Football is not the same without it.
Why don't you just borrow mine? I have it.
Because it would take effort. It would mean I'd have to open up the iPad. I'd have to type some shit. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I need nap time.
No, I get all that. I get all that.
Puppy time.
Well, right. Well, again, Zack, you and I are the same age. We're maturing. I mean, I have a family. You're married. I have a wife and kids. So we have somewhat similar lifestyles now. We have a very broad life. We still love our sports, and we sit here every week and discuss it, and we do our picks and all that. And we enjoy it, but I don't think we need to be as attached to it as I used to, like say 10 years ago when we were doing the show, 10, 15 years ago.
Do you think it has anything to do with that scumbag in Tallahassee? When you have the worst season of your entire life.
Mike Norvell?
Yeah, that's
No,
a
no,
comeback.
no, honestly, no, because my love of sports also too. I'm gonna admit too also, like, and you know what, we love the NBA. You and I mean, we talk about it on the
Oh
show. We
man.
we always talk about it, the previews and all that. But I have to be honest with you. I'm gonna speak straight up with you. I have not through 6 weeks. I have not felt as attached to the season as I normally would. I don't know if it's because the election prior to it, leading up to the election, and me being all obsessed with the coverage of that. Football, of course, is back. College football is back. Normally the NBA could pierce through all that and still be engaged. But and look, granted, I know what's going on. I'm not like lost what's going on, but I'm not like tied to a TV. Like I have League Pass and I have, FanDuel Sports Network for the Heat and all that. So I'm still watching the games as much as I could, but I'm not like excited for games. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta see this game. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's there. I'll put it on if I need to. I'm
Yeah.
not like and I feel like it's not just like that with it's sports in general. Like I feel like it doesn't matter as much as it used to me. Like I'll get mad at a game tonight and like, okay, the Heat lose tonight to the Lakers, for example. Oh, they're winning. Okay, that sucks, and I'm over it like in 10 minutes.
See, I didn't mind it so much when I stopped really paying attention to baseball about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
But in all honesty, having Florida State suck so bad takes all joy out of football weekends for me.
I think for you, while we're both big fans of the school, I would argue you're probably a bigger one than I am. You're probably a little
Yeah,
more
because you have,
edgier.
they're the only winner I have in my collective sporting world. You got the
Hmm.
Heat, you got the Giants.
Well, not the last 10 years, but yeah,
Yeah, what
'cause
did I have? The Seminoles.
that's it.
Yeah, I had the
It's
Marlins
true.
21 years ago, but
The
that's
Magic,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah, you're right. No, you're a good point, and maybe that's probably some of that, I guess. But I would actually talk to more maturity. You work a lot. I work. I have a family. I have other priorities. I have other interests too. I love watching TV shows and movies and other things, and I have other things that I find my time also. I love when I for example when I do my follow daily intake of media, I follow more political media than I do sports media now. To be honest with you, because you thought I'd be done with this whole shit after the election's over. You damn no, I'm not. I'm still watching my shows every day, breaking
Uh,
points and all that. I'm still locked in.
I'm
So
waiting for the February and March shows, man. I
wait,
can't wait to see what this country looks like after
you
2 months of Trump in
you mean
office.
100 days? The 100 days? Well, that'll be like April, May actually. So
Dude, a
we'll see.
100 days with him getting what he wants.
We'll see, and we'll touch on some politics in a second. Back in the show, I know people want to say, "Oh, well, politics." Yeah, that's what we do. Sometimes me, Zach, and I dabble in some of that. You can, if you don't interested in that, well, that's the back end of the show. Before we get started, we have 8 minutes of the podcast. I want to react to this. Is going to be the very last college football playoff rankings of the regular season. This will be the last one before we get to the actual rankings this coming Sunday, because it is championship weekend. And this is a reaction real quick from you. Bring on the screen here. Your top, I guess, really, we can go through the 25 if you want to, but the top 12 right now: 1 Oregon, 2 Texas, 3 Penn State, 4 Notre Dame, 5 Georgia, 6 Ohio State, 7 Tennessee, 8 SMU, 9 Indiana, 10 Boise State, 11 Alabama, and 12 Miami. Obviously, we have some big matches this weekend. Championship weekend. SMU plays Clemson. That's a must-win especially for SMU, I believe. Here's what I'll do here. I'm going to run through the 12 teams that right now are in the 12. Because right now Miami is 12, but right now they're the first team out. Because if I believe if Arizona State or Iowa State win one of those two teams, they'll grab at least a 12 spot. Because remember, it's an automatic bid for the conference champion, especially the big four conferences. I'm going to go through each team in the top 12, and you tell me yes or no they're locked to get in the playoff no matter what happens this weekend. All right. So number 1, Oregon. Are they locked? Yes or no?
Oh yeah, I think they're easily the number one team.
Right. Even they lose to Penn State this weekend.
I don't think they lose.
Yeah, neither. But they'll lock. Yeah. Number 2, Texas. They'll lock.
Yeah, they're a lock.
Okay. 3, Penn State. Lock. Yes or no?
I don't believe they should be a lock. I think, but they will still crack the top 12 even with a loss.
Okay. 4, Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're a lock.
I agree. All 4. I agree with you on there. 5, Georgia. If they lose to Texas this weekend, are they still locked?
Yeah, I would say they're at the cutoff point though for a loss.
Yeah, I'm gonna say also they'll. I think they'll lock because even though they are the 5th seed and they have 2 losses, I think the wins they have against Texas, for example, already early in the year, and a dominant win, in fact, is going to help their case. I think the committee will shoehorn 1, if not 2, SEC teams if possible. So I think Georgia's a lock no matter what. All right, 6, Ohio State. Lock?
No, if they were to
Really?
lose,
Well, they're
yeah.
not playing this weekend though. They're not playing this weekend though. So any chance that they get dumped out of the 12?
Well, no, if they don't play.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play this weekend. So
So who's
I,
not
I think
playing?
I think they'll lock. I think they'll lock anyway. Mainly because of the fact that um, Ohio State they're being helped by, even though the Michigan loss is really bad, they're being helped by the wins over Penn State, who's number 3, and the win over Indiana, who's number 9 currently. So I think that helps their case, even though both teams are not. I mean, I don't know how you feel about Indiana, but both teams may not be as sexy as you think. But whatever. So I think they're a lock. 7, Tennessee. Lock, yes or no?
Yeah, I would think they're still safe, right?
I would think so. 10-2. They're not playing this weekend, but they're 10-2.
Yeah.
I don't see other team leapfrogging them. Okay. 8, SMU. Are they a lock?
Yeah, because I don't see them losing in the
Okay.
ACC.
I don't think they'll lock though. I think they lose Clemson. I think there's a very good chance Alabama gets that
Oh
spot.
yeah, okay, so if they lose, yes, they're out.
Right. All right. 9, Indiana. Lock, yes or no?
Yeah, they're in because they don't have to play and they don't have to worry.
Yeah, and they're 11-1, 2 on top of that. Okay. 10, Boise State. Are they a lock?
Yeah, they're locked in.
You think so?
Yeah, I would say they're locked in.
They do play. Was it UNLV this weekend? Let me see. Who they play again? They play. Right now they're 11-1 also too. And they play. Let me tell you real quick. They play. Yeah, UNLV. Boise is 11-1 themselves. If they do lose, I'm a little worried that maybe Ole Miss takes their spot also too. So I'm gonna say no on that one if they lose to UNLV. All right. Number 11 is Alabama. Are they a lock? Yes or no?
I mean, they don't play. They're already in the top 12. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty safe.
Okay. I think they're a lock. Honestly, if people say they're not, I don't think they'll lock at all. And finally 12, Miami. I say no.
But they're not. I mean, are they even playing anyone? No. So,
No, they're done. I think they're cooked because
so how can you fall out? Like, I don't understand how.
Yeah. So I think how Miami this is how Miami falls out. If I believe if SMU beats Clemson, SMU is guaranteed a spot, which I think helps Alabama's chances. They need help. Arizona State and Iowa State is guaranteed a spot after this game on Saturday as well too. So that shuts them out. In fact, I can argue Ole Miss deserves a spot ahead of Miami, if anything. I would argue that.
What I
They
would
would
say what I would say about this whole thing is the way in which it's set up is there's really only 3 teams that could even be knocked out, and those 3 teams are having to play.
So the 3 teams that can be knocked out, in my opinion, here, I believe are SMU can be knocked out, Boise State can be knocked out, and I mean, I guess Alabama, but honestly, Alabama's schedule helps their case. They beat Georgia this year. You know what I'm saying? They beat Georgia. That helps their case. Miami, lost 2 with the easiest schedule on the planet, lost 2 games this year. So
Alabama lost to Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt was actually ranked at one point this year, though.
That's because you have SEC love. Anyone who watched Vanderbilt would not say they were a ranked team.
But I would argue SC people. This is another argument too, also being had right now too, also with SEC. Like for years, is SEC bias, and rightly so. While the SEC this year has not been as good at top, one can argue SEC actually got better because the bottom was actually more competitive now this year as a result. There was more good teams across the board in the SEC than probably we have seen in a long time. Like A&M was hanging around. Missouri's ranked. I mean, look at these teams that in the SEC now that currently ranked still right now. South Carolina, so they have a lot more teams ranked and are in the mix. One point, Ole Miss is hanging around, and I think the SEC is just deeper now. They've gone from a top heavy conference being a deeper conference now.
Yeah, to me, I would say the biggest story out of the top 12 would be SMU, a team that wasn't in a Power 5 or Power 4 conference up until just this past year.
Yeah.
Now being a top 12 team. We make such a big deal about Boise State, and we made a big deal early on about Army and Navy. Here's a legit team who just joined a major conference, and they're already in the top 12.
Yeah.
That's what I think should be getting talked about.
Yeah. Boise gets loved, though, because Boise's only loss was a 3-point loss to the best team in college football right now. So, I mean, that's pretty good for Boise, too, also. But they got to win, though. It's not a lock because I think a 2-loss Boise school could get knocked out because of Bama and even Ole Miss to some degree. I think Miami's cooked. I think Miami's cooked regardless. I think there's still a chance Miami get in, but it's a 5% chance Miami gets in, honestly, in my opinion. I think losing Syracuse was a bad look.
I think they got locked in as soon as they made the top 12.
Who did? Miami?
Had they been put at 13, then you would have needed someone in the back end to fall out.
But it is labeled, though, on the rankings that first team out is Miami, depending on how things shake out with the other teams inside there. I don't know if the committee follows suit. Remember they had. I mean, using the 4-team example from last year, they have Florida State number 4, going into championship weekend, and they still got knocked out because of the performance. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, we complained. Maybe we said, 12 teams, no chaos. all the chaos did was move down lower, if anything. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Tennessee and I'm Ohio State, I'm liking the bye week. Ohio State, as bad as things are for Ryan Day and whatnot, they're going to get a bye week right now. They're not going to play this week, okay? They're going to get in the playoff anyway. They're 99.9% sure going to the playoff. And they get a week off.
No, that's great for them.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So like I said, well, obviously we'll have the final rankings on Sunday. Sunday I think at noon. After a championship Saturday rather. So, all right, to the NFL we go. Best bets, of course. Like I said, Zach won this week now, so that's two wins of the year. I think it's now 8-2-2 for me. Two ties and 2 wins for you. 8 wins for me. We got 6 buys this week, Zach. We get started. We have the Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, the Colts, the Patriots, and your Commanders. Of these 6 teams, who do you think needs this bye week more?
I mean, it's got to be a toss-up between the Ravens and Texans. I mean, Texans, CJ Stroud's got to get his head right for this season.
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore, can you win a game that's close? Like, against good competition, can you win a close game?
But that's the thing, too, also with Baltimore. That's been a problem, the way they've been for the last couple of years. Like, they always play down the competition, and they play, and the teams that are on level or even better, they'll beat, at least during the regular season anyway. This week was a little weird, though. Like, Philadelphia, I thought they blew out Philadelphia. And, and look, they're not to say they weren't in a position to do so, but with every Justin Tucker miss, you heard that stadium deflate more and more. And Philadelphia just grabbed momentum at that point.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with you, actually. I'm going to give it a 3-way tie between Baltimore, which I agree is getting their head straight right now, Houston with CJ Stroud, I agree with you. And your Commanders, I think Jay Daniels another week free to get healthy for the stretch run would help a lot. He's definitely hurt. Now, granted, it didn't matter this week against Tennessee because they suck. But yeah, he's hurt. And hopefully this week could help him lock up that wild card, which right now there are 2 games up in the wild card as we standing into week 14. So, all right, here we go. So Thursday night game, of course, tonight. Well, tonight as of this recording, when you hear it, Packers at Lions. Lions are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under is 51.5. Zach.
Every week, another defender goes down for the Lions. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back for the season, but I really like Green Bay this weekend or this on Thursday night. Just too much going on for the Lions right now.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about the Lions now with the injuries, especially piling up now the wrong time of the year. I do think we're going to know a lot about the Lions these next 2 weeks. The Green Bay tomorrow, and then of course Buffalo the week after. I have Detroit number 3 in my rankings right now currently for that reason. Power rankings this week. But I'm going to take Detroit here regardless. I think they need to get right game. I think they'll get it here. I am not sold on Green Bay as a top tier team. They're a tier 2 team. They're definitely a good team. They could probably, with the right matchup, find themselves in the NFC title game, depending on how things shake out in the NFC by the end of the year. But there's still questions about Jordan Love. Like, Jordan Love's a good quarterback, correct? Top 10 quarterback in the league. But there's, I don't even count the Miami game, to be honest with you, because Miami just does not play well in the cold. I just haven't seen a complete Packers game in a while. And you know, this would be a good spot to get it done. If they win this game in Detroit, which, by the way, last year on Thanksgiving weekend, they played Detroit on Thanksgiving weekend, and they actually won in Detroit, and that was the game that turned the season around for the record. But I don't see it happen this week. Give me Detroit to win to cover 3.5 points. I think they need to get right game. They'll get it here from Jared Goff and company. All right. To Sunday we go. We have the Jaguars at Titans. The Titans are 4.5-point favorites. The over/under is 40, Zach.
I'm going to just assume that Trevor Lawrence will be in concussion protocol.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, he is, but he's out for the year.
Oh, he's out for the year.
He's gonna have shoulder surgery, so they're packing it up.
Yeah, you're telling me Will Levis versus Mac Jones. Give me Will Levis. Look, I understand Tennessee struggled against my team, who I don't understand how you could not stop our run game because it's so weak. But I don't think Tennessee's defense will miss 2 weeks in a row.
I'm with you there too. Also, Jaguars are done. As you just heard the news, but Lawrence out for the year, shoulder injury plus the concussion protocol thingy, whatever you call that. They're already 2-10. This tank for a draft pick, obviously. Tennessee, you know, they'll win a game here and there once a blue moon. They're still a bad team, but Tennessee's the better team of the two right now at this point. Give me Tennessee as well, too, also to cover 4.5 points. All right. You got the Jets at Dolphins. The Dolphins are 6.5-point favorites. The over/under is 45, Zach.
Man, let me get the Dolphins now before the line spikes even higher. I'm almost to the point. I think the Jets are putting out feelers to find out whether or not they can bench Aaron Rodgers. So
that's been rumored already for the last couple of weeks. That possibility that happens.
Yeah, and what do you gain from doing that?
Nothing.
Yeah, you don't have a backup rookie quarterback waiting in the wings.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. So, what, a guy who's 2 years younger than him at most? Yeah. But give me the Dolphins against the Jets.
Yeah. I think they win the game. However, it's just a lot of points. And I'm going to factor the rivalry component too also. So I'm taking the Jets in the points here. Dolphins win, but Jets in the points. But we must appreciate now going forward that week to week for the rest of the year, we could be seeing the end of Aaron Rodgers' career because this idea about 2025, about him coming back to the Jets. First off, if Aaron Rodgers comes back to football next year, it has to be the Jets. You know why? I don't see any other team in the league taking him on at all. He adds nothing. He now is at a point where he adds zero to a team. He doesn't add leadership. He doesn't add play anymore. He's not good enough anymore. Like in the past, you're like, oh, he's a bit of a head case. Well, you know what? It's Aaron Rodgers, top guy in the league. I get it. That's not the case anymore. He's a bottom 10 quarterback in the league right now, maybe worse. So If he comes back in 2025, it has to be the Jets. So, and that's up in the air as is right now. So unless he ends the year strong, we can be seeing the Aaron Rodgers' career in general in New York, obviously, but in general. So in that case, like I said, give me the Jets to the points, but I take Dolphins to win. All right, next one here. We have Falcons at Vikings. The Vikings are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5, Zach.
Could what, the number 8 pick in the draft make an appearance this weekend?
I heard a rumor about that. Someone sent me a text saying that he heard that Kirk Cousins may not play this weekend, but I disagree with that because this is Kirk Cousins' return to Minnesota, first off.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an ugly reappearance in Minnesota. Give me the Vikings. I could see them the whole team wanting to show up just to beat down Kirk Cousins.
He is a well-liked guy, though, in Minnesota. I will say that. He'll probably get a standing ovation, the whole nine.
Yeah, from the fans.
Yeah, of course. I do think Atlanta will play better this week. Obviously, they're in the tailspin, as is. I told you guys a couple weeks ago that watch the Buccaneers are getting healthy, and they're in within range to take over the NFC South. And right now, they're even. They're tied with Atlanta right now in the division. So things are working out that way for them. But I do like. I think Atlanta keeps getting close. The best bet, though, is taking the over on this one. I can see some fireworks here.
See, and that's the thing. I think this will be very low scoring.
You think so?
At least on Atlanta's part. Because what will be glaring? The return of Cousins to Minnesota, which makes this a big game. A very big game. And the Vikings, what have they done all season? Capitalize on turnovers. He's going to throw 3 picks. If you could bet on the over-under of how many interceptions, bet on that.
All right, interesting. Okay, but the best bet for me is the over in this one. All right, next one. Saints at Giants. The Saints are 4-point favorites. The over-under is 39.5, Zach.
Man, are the Saints making a late season surge?
No, they're too back of a division. No chance.
But, I mean, they're playing the Giants. They're going to get a win right there.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but
I'll take the Saints to cover.
I think Saints win this game, but I think the Giants in the points are. I think the Giants will actually play better this time around at home. They're still terrible, but they will not win this game. They'll lose by a field goal. Give me the Saints to win this game, but Giants in the points. All right. Panthers at Eagles. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5, Zach.
Wait, what is the over-under?
45.5.
Oh, excuse me. What was the spread?
12.5. Eagles.
12.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a little much. I think after having such a big win against Baltimore, Philly might be riding just a little high and not paying much attention. I'll take Carolina in the points.
Really?
Yeah.
I see the logic there. I do see the logic there. And not only that, to your credit, Carolina's been playing good football the last couple weeks. Bryce Young is.
Yeah, he had his best game ever.
That benching might have done wonders for his career. Like, if we see Bryce Young become a serviceable quarterback for the rest of his career, him getting benched Andy Dalton week 3 or 4 will be the turning point of his career. Sometimes he can take a step back. And then,
But he took steps back in his rookie season because he kept missing games. So
right, but I think him being benched, might will do wonders. And
right.
and he's played well last couple weeks. He's played very well. That said, even with Carolina being competitive, and I can see the argument being competitive, Eagles is too damn good, and they're at home. And while I do see your point with the letdown, I still think they'll cover 12.5 points.
All right.
Maybe get a late score. You know what I'm saying? A little late score.
Oh,
Games in hand, up touchdown, but then they score. Saquon with a run with a 60-yard scamper, up 14, and they hold it. So you give me Eagles to cover anyway. All right. Browns at Steelers. The Steelers are 6.5-point favorites. The over/under is 41.5, Zach.
Look, I really like the Steelers in this game. All right. I get it. The Browns are way more competitive now that Jameis is there. But Jameis is now going to go up against a defense that's going to be looking to kill him.
Yeah.
And all I see are turnover from Jameis. So give me the Steelers to cover.
Steelers win the game, but it's a lot of points. And again, the ratio about good game, bad game. I mean, I don't know if you call James Winston's performance on Monday a good game because he did have almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, but 3 picks and 2 pick sixes. I guess in his case, it's probably a good game still because better than
Yeah,
Deshaun
but
Watson.
6 touchdowns.
That's his experience of James Winston in general. But that being said, rivalry game. These teams met 2 weeks ago. I'm taking the over in this game. Actually, I don't know why. I'm taking the over.
Didn't they go over 2 weeks ago?
I think barely.
Yeah.
They won 24-19. I think the over was like 37. It was 24-19, and I think they yeah, it was like high 30s. 38. Yeah. So yeah, it went over barely. In the snow, in fact. In the snow. So I'm taking the over here as well, too, also. All right. Raiders at Bucks. The Bucks are 7-point favorites. The over-under is 44.5, Zach.
Give me the Bucks. I mean, the Raiders gotta be done now.
Oh yeah,
you blow that kick against Kansas City. I'm sorry.
They're trying to tank.
There's no recovering.
They're trying to tank, man. Come on, they're trying to tank.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, give me Tampa. Tampa's red hot now. They're playing. I mean, look, close win against Carolina, but divisional opponent. Look, I get that. But Tampa is now starting to turn on. Now they're healthier. Now Baker Mayfield's having a really, really good year. If this team was actually even like remotely better record, he might be a low key MVP candidate also too. Give me the Bucks here to win this game and cover 7 points anyway. All right, 4:00 games. Seahawks at Cardinals. The Cardinals are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 44.5. Zach.
To me, this just screams over. Both these teams love to put up points, and both these teams love to give up points.
So it's funny you said that because they just met 2 weeks ago as well too, and final score was 16-6.
Well, that's not going to happen 2 times in one season.
No, I agree with your record. I do. I could definitely see over, but I think Arizona is they need this win. I think if Seattle wins this game, the Rams lose to Buffalo, which is the next game we're going to cover in a second. The division might be wrapped up at that point. And I hate
Seattle would have it.
They'll have a 2-game lead at that point over both teams, and then the Niners are still banged up. So that could be the case here. So I think Seattle's his job. I think we can see the Seahawks, who I don't trust, and I've been saying it all year long, but somehow we're getting hot at the right time. Seattle could have this thing wrapped up. That being said, I don't trust them. So obviously, I'm taking the Cardinals to recover and Kyler Murray to recover at home. Give me the Cardinals to win this game and cover 2.5 points. All right. Bills at Rams. Bills are 4-point favorites. The over/under is 48.5. Zach.
The Bills should be favored by like 9. All right, they're gonna win by double digits. I'm sorry. The Bills are just a train that is running away from the station, and nobody can stop them.
Taking Buffalo?
Taking Buffalo.
Yeah, I like Buffalo here too in the spot, but the Rams were at home. They are semi-healthy. I think both guys are back. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are both playing this week, I believe. I think the safe bet, though, the best bet is the over. I see some fireworks here in this one. Bills do win this game, though, but I do think the best bet is the over in this game at 48.5. But to your point about Buffalo, they are all business right now. They are all business. So, I mean, am I ready to see they are the Super Bowl favorites, to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC? I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer and closer to saying that. All right. Bears at Niners. The Niners are 5.5-point favorites. The over/under is 44. Zach.
I don't know how the 49ers could be favored by this much. as banged up as they are,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess that partly has to do with Eberflus being fired, right? You're bringing in an interim coach against Shanahan.
Mhm.
See,
Well,
I'm trying to talk myself in. I'll do it. Give me the 49ers to cover.
tempting. It's very tempting to do that. I mean, this team is a walking wounded, broken, beaten, scarred. McCaffrey's out for the year pretty much. Jordan, what's his face? Jordan, was the running back replaced most of the year.
Yeah.
Jordan, whatever his name is. Um, Fryer, whatever his name is. He's gonna miss time also too. That's banged up. It is tempting to take San Francisco even with that, but I also know that a lot of times when a interim coach comes to takes over the team that first game they respond pretty well actually. But I don't have enough balls to pick the Bears on this one, so I'm going to take the under in this game at 44. It's the best bet. All right, Sunday football: Chargers at Chiefs. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. The over under is 43.5. Zach.
I hope the Bills are gonna send like muffin baskets, donuts. They need to send every thank you basket known to man to Harbaugh and Herbert because Kansas City's gonna catch their second loss of the season. I'm taking the Chargers.
I am too. I said this when the prior to that Bills Chiefs game a couple weeks ago when you were eyeballing the Chiefs schedule. They were not, I think 9-0 at the time. And okay, could it go 17-0? We'll see. Where's the first loss coming from, or losses coming from? And obviously Buffalo was the obvious one. But I also eyeballed this game because the Chargers, whenever they're good or bad, they always give the Chiefs problems. Even when they lose to the Chiefs, they're always competitive games. Even the game they played in week 2 was competitive, or week 4, whatever it was. The Chargers playing good football right now. The defense is good enough to keep Mahomes and company contained. Look, the Chargers win this game, and Buffalo will have the number 1 seed by the end of this weekend. I'm going to warn folks though, real quick, who keep having this talk about the Chiefs and they're finished, this and that. We always have amnesia because we forget that the Chiefs literally did this same okey doke last year, and look what happened. Don't fall for it, guys. The Chiefs are more capable of turning it on when it matters. Okay, we all had this team buried at Christmas Day last year when they lost to the Raiders at home, and all they did after that was win every single fucking game until 2 weeks ago. Okay, so don't fall for the okey doke. They want you to look this way while things go on that way. So don't fall for it. I'm not saying Chiefs. I'm not saying Chiefs are going to win it all this year. I'm not even saying that because I think this is the year to catch them. But just don't fall for the okey doke. That being said, give me Chargers as well too on the spot on the road. Chargers win outright. Okay. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have the Bengals at the Cowboys. The Bengals 6-point favorites. The over under is 48.5. Zach.
So this is where I am. Bengals suck. Cowboys suck. Cowboys are trying to make playoff life happen for them. So I'm going to ride with the Cowboys. All right. All the Bengals want to do is score points and give up points. They're not trying to win any games. So I'll take the points. I'll take the Cowboys, and I'll go for my third straight victory.
Yeah. First off, the Dallas Cowboys are 3 games behind the wild card. Okay, number 1. Let's start there. 3 games back. Okay, and it's still got leapfrog. 3 games back with 5 to go, and they got to leapfrog 3 teams just to get there. Okay, they have no shot with the division, number 1. Okay, to even that route is gone. Okay, number 1. But that being said, is it possible that you can have a bad matchup, a bad matchup be a good game? Because even though these 2 teams are pretty much cooked for the year in terms of playoff possibilities, I'm still intrigued by this game actually. And maybe it's just Joe Burrow. Maybe it's just Joe Burrow in general, I guess. And
I'm
Bengals
sure.
offense. Yeah.
And you probably want to see if Mika can get a couple sacks on Burrow also.
And maybe but we'll go up that night, Monday night. Well, let's go. Me, you, and Chris go out and find watch a game.
Sounds
I don't know.
good.
But hot take coming here for you, buddy. Because look, this window for the Bengals is closed. This window with this core, Burrow, Chase, Higgins, it's closed officially. Because number one, both guys ain't coming back. Higgins or Chase, both ain't coming back next year. It's very possible that both of them may leave. Who knows? Because Mike Brown, cheapest owner in all of football. Okay. Hot take here comes right now. Hot take coming right now. I think Joe Burrow asked for a trade within 2 years.
Whoa.
Because this is not the same. Unless Mike Brown has changed his heart and he's invested into keeping his team competitive, you can't.
But he is an Ohio boy, correct?
I don't give a shit if he's Ohio boy. It doesn't matter if your team's not. If your ownership group is not putting enough money into this team or enough to make this team competitive, and he's getting killed every week. On top of that, Joe Burrow's having an MVP year. Joe Burrow's having a phenomenal year, MVP year, and I don't think it's fair. So I think.
Can I ask what is this fairness thing?
I'm not trying to be unfair to him. They're not losing because of Joe Burrow. Let's be clear about that. They're not. They scored 38 points last week against the Steelers and still lost. At some point, it's not just a Joe Burrow problem anymore.
But what does that have to do with fairness, though?
I'm not saying to be fair and unfair. I'm just saying that Joe Burrow ain't the problem. They lose because of bad quarterback play.
Yeah, okay. But it's not going to help? Spending $35 to $40 million on 2 wide receivers.
Okay, I'm not suggesting they bring them both back because I think only one's coming back, and it's going to be Chase most likely. But I'm just saying, though, that if I can see a scenario where Mike Brown, cheap as he is, lets both of them go, okay, and try to cheap his way through around the edges. And that won't work probably, and Joe Burrow will get frustrated, and I think he'll ask for a trade in 2 years.
Right.
So, in any case, I think I'll take Dallas on the points here. I think. Let me see this. 6 is a lot of points, buddy. 6 is a lot of points.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking Dallas.
Yeah, give me Dallas on the points here, but give me the Bengals win outright to win overall. But Dallas on the points. It's a lot of points there for the Cowboys. Oh, the Bengals rather, because again their defense sucks, and I think I can see Cooper Rush cooking a little bit in this game. So, all right, those are your Week 14 best bets. One last thing to get out of here, a little politics talk here. So 2 days ago, we heard and we saw the current president of the United States, Joe Biden, pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, from all this criminal and convictions and all that stuff from his trial and all that. A lot of reactions on both sides of the aisle. Both reactions are pretty obvious. The right, of course, pissed off that Joe Biden would do this. The left, of course, some people do actually agree with the right on that one, but most people left saying that what's the big deal? Everybody pardons everybody. I don't care either way because number one, I think people are mad more the fact that Joe Biden did say on record about 6 months ago that he would not pardon his son, and then it kept getting reiterated, even though people kept asking that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Before we get to the reaction, I want to play a clip from Jon Stewart from Monday where he reacted to the pardon. I thought what he said was pretty damn poignant. Jon Stewart is a national treasure, and by the way, Jon Stewart should run for president in 2028, in my opinion. Here's his take on the pardon.
It's not like he's ever going to run again. So why not take care of your kid? Even if you said you weren't gonna. I respect it. I don't have a problem with it. The problem is the rest of the Democrats made Biden's pledge to not pardon Hunter the foundation of their defense of America, this grand experiment. Yes, 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 to everything that you guys were saying. If you hadn't made Hunter Biden not receiving a pardon the Mason-Dixon line of morality between Democrats and Republicans, there's a big gap between the law is the only thing that separates us from the animals and the monkey threw shit at me first. I had no choice. Rules, loopholes, and norms. The distance between the systems Democrats say they are revering and the one that they're using when they need to is why people think it's rigged. Use the rules, use the loopholes, the norms, but also use it to help the people.
So Gavin Newsom has been.
All right, your thoughts on that, man? I thought what he said was pretty powerful shit.
Who I want to meet one person who really believed he was going to let his son go to jail.
Not me. I
really want to meet that person. Like until then, until you can show me people who really, really deep down believe Joe Biden was going to let his son go to jail for years on end. No, I'm sorry. All of it, all the reaction is just all total bullshit.
Yeah. And for
that's how I feel about that.
And for record, I don't care. Number one, Hunter Biden's a parasite anyway. I think he's a piece of shit. But the reason I can't say Hunter Biden is more so doing his personal shit. He has a daughter he doesn't even acknowledge. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Republicans wanted to take the high ground and wanted him in jail, the gun charge where you're pro-gun on freaking domestic violence, people having a gun still, no, I'm sorry. But you could have said he's a deadbeat dad who hasn't paid child support, and then we wouldn't have that argument. But when you want to use the gun charge of lying on paperwork for a gun, yet again, you want someone who beats his wife to still be allowed to own a gun. I can't take you serious on the other side.
Right, exactly.
And the drug charge, I'm sorry. Yeah, he might be a drug addict, crack addict, but you know what we know? We both know that Don Jr. is a cokehead. Everybody who sees Don Jr.
I mean, it's been rumored. It's been rumored for years, but I mean, it's been rumored for years, but I'm not sure. There's been any.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It was also rumors for years about Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, like, I'm not gonna play any moral high ground. I just want to meet the one person who really deep down thought someone would send their own son to jail for years.
There are some people. I know. I watched The View a couple days ago. I believe Whoopi Goldberg and I think somebody else, and Sonny also, who I disagree with for the record, said that they thought that Joe Biden would not pardon him, but they said that they thought because of the cabinet that's coming together right now for Donald Trump, that he thought, well, fuck it, I protect my son, because if Donald Trump is going on this this spree of like payback for people who fucked them the last couple of years, Hunter Biden could be one of the victims, and Joe Biden, more than anything else, is wanting his son involved in that. Which I see the argument for that too, but at the same time, again, the reason why this didn't deal for me at all when it happened was because I expected this to happen. When Joe Biden said himself, I said, "Bullshit! You're not going to. You're going to pardon his ass."
What did Hunter Biden do to affect Donald Trump? Like, Hunter Biden didn't do jack shit. No, maybe TV personalities and members of the intelligence community, but Hunter Biden had nothing to do with Trump.
Right.
Hunter Biden didn't go on TV, say one bad word about Trump.
No, he did not.
So I don't think Donald Trump gave two fucks in the end.
I think Hunter
Biden would
want
to go after everyone else who made it a political thing.
I think Hunter Biden was a scapegoat because he was guilty by association with his father. That's all. That's all it was. And for the record, I'm not defending Hunter Biden. I hate that motherfucker. I don't like him. I think he's a scumbag. He's a parasite. I have non-political reasons why I don't like him, though. Okay, so, but to me, it's like whatever. President's gonna do this shit. President's fucking Donald Trump pardoned who? Roger Stone 4 years ago. He pardoned his son-in-law, or his son-in-law's father-in-law, I think it was.
Didn't Donald Trump pardon murderers?
So like again, Spare me the bullshit, man. Look, you just don't get to get mad about it. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can be, I'm not saying not to be mad about the Hunter Biden pardon, but let's also put a little contextualize it a little bit more further too. Also, don't act like you're the moral authority either on this either. I mean, because they all do this shit. Get over it, okay? So that's just my 2 cents on that. Anyway, that's it for me. Zach, anything to add before you go?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. Well, good luck to picks. Make it 3 in a row this week, huh?
Yeah, man. Good luck.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Try and make some money.
All right, brother. Later.
Later.